Is it on? Yep. It's recording? How long? Okay. I want to start off by introducing myself. I am Shelby. I'm 15 years old, and I'm a freshman in high school. I've been given the opportunity to speak to each and every one of you about bullying. It is a real big honor. Sometimes life gives you so much that you don't know if you are able to handle what it gives you. You're surrounded by people who love and care about you. But you don't know why you feel the way you do. You don't know why you feel so alone. You wonder why things happen the way they do. You wonder if you will ever be good enough. You ask yourself if you will be good enough for the people who surround you. And you ask yourself if you will ever be good enough for the people you go to school with, or just about everyone. Life will leave you wondering with a million questions but no answers. You make one silly mistake and everybody seems to judge you for that one stupid mistake. If you do not have the nice, perfect, expensive clothes, then you don't fit in. If you have piercings, then you don't fit in. If you will, you all understand what I'm trying to say. You have to be somebody to fit in. In my eyes, there's no group you have to fit in. You don't have to have the best clothes or the best looks to be able to fit in. You have to strive to be different in the world. In God's eyes, we all fit in. I want to share a little with you all, but before I begin to tell you about myself and what I've been through in front of you, I'm going to share a poem written by Rainey. Bullying hurts, don't you see? You were nothing but a big bully. Don't you think what could have been? What if they put a razor to their skin? What if they wrote a note to say goodbye, and their family and friends were left wondering why? What if at night they cry themselves to sleep, but by morning it's too hard to get up on their feet? They're afraid to come to school because of bullies like you. When they try to tell an adult, their plea is overruled. Soon they can't take it anymore. They think, what do I have to live for? Finally, all their secrets start to spill. They grab the bottle and overdose on pills. All they ever wanted was a friend and to hear the words, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. You did it all for fun. You didn't know what could have been. What if you pushed them a bit too far? All your actions have caused one big scar. Haven't you seen what you put them through? You think they're weak, but they're stronger than you. All they want is to forget. They think, how much worse can it get? Don't you know you're their biggest fear? They scream so loud, but no one can hear. What if it is you who got hurt every day? Tell me how many words you would have left to say. Take a moment to think about what this poem actually means to you. Bullying is becoming a bigger issue every single day. It can start on a social media website, such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, etc. But it can also happen physically. Suicide is the third leading death among young people around the world, resulting in 4,400 deaths in just 1 year. This does not include how many kids try to attempt suicide or the ones who self-harm because they feel so worthless. They do not feel good enough, or the ones who starve themselves because they get called fat. There are over 100 suicide attempts have been made. Students who have and currently is still being bullied may consider suicide. Male and female between the ages of 10 and 14 years old have an even higher percentage of trying to commit suicide. Over 30% of students stay home from school due to bullying every single day. Some students suffer from depression, anxiety, etc. I'm not going into the different cases because each young individual is different. This message is to the parents. If your child suffers from bullying, they will come home from school and say there is such drama at their school. If he or she comes home and says some kids were messing around, that's a key word that your child may be bullied. Another thing that may lead to, if your child being bullied, they will have sadness, academic issues, and aggression. If you ever recognize your child suffers from low self-esteem issues along with unexplained cuts, bruises, and other scratches, then there's a big chance that your child may be being bullied. Bullying not only comes from school, it can also be a big part of the child's home life rather than the school life. and how other students make your child feel as a person. If your child seems to have the following examples that are currently listed, then try to talk to them about bullying and if they are being bullied themselves. Bullying can hurt your child physically and emotionally. Your child will come home from school crying, asking questions about life, and some kids will ask themselves questions like, why do kids treat me the way they do? Will I ever be good enough to hang out with the right crowd? Will I ever be good enough for you? They will ask questions like that over and over again. They will wonder why you were born. If you ask questions like this, then something needs to be done because they could be suffering from depression and anxiety. I will tell you a little about myself. I'm 15 years old. I am currently a freshman at Woodland High School in Cartersville. I'm a very proud Lady Wildcat. But before I was ever in high school, this is when all the trouble happened. And this is where I did not know if I could be who I am. And that's when I wanted to take my own life. I have people asking me why I felt the way I do constantly. I have people remind me about what I have been through every single day of the week, every minute. They know me as the girl who was bullied or the girl who wants attention. I do not want attention from the story. I never intended to gain attention from my bullying story. But if you know nothing about me and you want to start getting to know me, that's the first thing I will tell you about me because this is who made me as I am. I will tell you about my story because I want to inspire young adults like you beautiful people among me. There is so much to life than letting other people get to you. There is so much more to life than those people who made you feel worthless. Every single day is a struggle for me right now. High school is a real struggle for me as well as far as fitting in because before I go into why I'm in such a big trouble, I will start from the beginning of where the bullying really became an issue. And it currently still is an issue. Let's start with the first day of my 7th grade year. I had so many friends. I was happy. I loved hanging out with my friends. I told my friends just about everything about me. This included the guy I was talking to. I don't think I could ever forget about him. They knew how I felt about myself. They knew how I felt about school, middle school to be exact. Well, it was just a few weeks later, I soon realized that those friends were not my friends. They were not my best friends like I claimed them to be. I played on the softball team. I guess it was a little softball party at the end of the year, but I was the one who wasn't invited. Just about the only one who wasn't invited. I had sent my friend a text message asking her what she was doing. And she messaged me back and said, having a party with so-and-so and so-and-so. I was like, okay, well, I will let you go. I don't want to intrude on the party. As soon as I said that, all the girls from the party started texting me, calling me a hoe and everything else because I said, I will let you go. I don't want to intrude. I never knew saying one thing would hurt me so much in my life. I never knew it would have given me so much trouble. Well, I went to school that Monday morning. I did not feel comfortable. Those girls I called my best friends weren't really my best friends. It was hard to believe that they were doing that to me. It got so bad. The pain, the emotion, and the intensity of the entire thing, it had hurt me. I never felt that way in my entire life. The things those girls, those people were saying about me, none of it was true, but it all got in my head. It obliterated me. I never knew that going to school would be so hard for me. That was the only beginning of this horrifying time in my life. It got so bad, just within a few months, I came home crying every single day of the week. I remember sitting in my room and just feeling the emotion and pain, and I could just cry, and then until I couldn't cry anymore. And then by the time I stopped crying, I would continue to cry because there was nothing I could do. I could not take it in the school anymore. I used to have people stare at me walking down the halls to my classroom. I had people just walk out of my life because those girls turned them against me. I came home thinking I was never going to be good enough. Why am I still here? This is so much to handle. I don't think I can take it much longer. But you would not know that looking at me as who I am today. I went into the restroom one day at the middle school. I was a student, simply going to the bathroom because I had to use the bathroom. And I happened to look up and I seen something written about me on the wall. I'm not going to say what it is because it's very disturbing. I cried. It was really hard to believe that my class actually thought that about me. This was the day it took my mom 10 minutes to get from Kennesaw to Emerson, Georgia. Just 10 minutes. I mean, my mom was mad. The schools, the administration will do nothing about bullying. Especially when my mom goes to the principal and the principal doesn't want to do anything about it. My teachers did not want to do anything about it. So finally, my mom came to the conclusion that I needed to be homeschooled, and she pulled me out that day, and that was when I began homeschooling. And this is what I'm about to tell you. This was also the day I got withdrawn from school. I cannot even bear to explain to you how I felt, how they made me feel, how worthless they made me feel. I remember the exact day my mom had withdrawn me from school, walked into the cafeteria. My teacher signed my release form to say goodbye to my friends that I did still have, because I knew I wouldn't see them for a whole entire year until my freshman year. I was crying. People were looking at me like, why is she crying? People thought they knew me, but in reality, they knew nothing what I was feeling on the inside. They never understood anything that I went through that year. Some things that I went through you cannot begin to understand unless you've actually been through them yourself. Same way with your situation. If you've ever been bullied, suicidal, etc., no one will understand how you felt that during that time. I can tell you one thing. I knew how you felt. If you ever felt so lonely that you did not want to live anymore, try putting yourself in someone else's shoes, because you will never know why someone feels or felt the way they did or do. People think that this is so easy to understand. People think you shouldn't feel this way because you get everything you want. You cannot even begin to describe why you feel the way you do. It just happens. You will not understand why any of this happens to you. That was only just a little bit of what happened to me. Now I'm going to go back in time to my 5th grade year. I told you about my 7th grade, and I'm going to go back just a little bit, not too much. It's my last year at elementary school. I was so happy, I'm going into middle school. I was thinking, cool, I'm stoked. New year, new me. What everyone wants, to start over at a new school. I went to a party at my best friend's house. Again, my best friend. I thought to myself, am I that stupid? I was invited to a party with a bunch of friends, and everything. Around 3 a.m. that morning, they ended up jumping me. I don't really remember a lot that happened to me. I only remember getting hit, punched, kicked. That was the only thing I really remember about that night. I was kicked out of the house for almost 3 hours that night, sitting outside. It was really, really cold. It was like in the winter time. It was late that night. I was tired. I was crying. I was just lost, empty. That is when I got physically hurt. And this was not the night. This was not the last night. But that was the very first time it happened. There was more times where I got physically hit. And that happened in my 8th grade year as well. And my 7th grade. Walking down the hallways to my schools, you have people making fun of you, talking about you. Well, they turn to me because I'm an easy target, and apparently I still am an easy target. So they still continue to say things to me, and I ignore it because I know I'm bigger and better. I ignore it. But in the end, that's what you gotta do, because the bullies are going through a stage where they think they're big and bad, want to make others feel miserable about themselves. I've been there. I know how bullying can make someone feel. I can relate to anyone who has been bullied. I can relate to you. Now let's talk about some online bullying. Cyberbullying also occurs more and more daily. I see it happening myself when I'm on Facebook, mainly Facebook. And I'm sure other young people see it too. Cyberbullying occurs more and more every single day. And I do not think the parents are aware of what's going on on the media. But I also do not think they know what other kids say about their child online and offline. Some students could send your child threatening text messages, spreading rumors about him or her. The bullies also pretend to be other people online so they do not get caught in their own offense. Other half of teens around the world have been exposed to cyberbullying. Only 1 out of 10 teens end up telling their parents that they are being bullied online. Females are more likely to be cyberbullied than males. Males are likely to be threatened by cyberbullies than girls themselves. Most cyberbullying victims are likely to, again, have low self-esteem issues. They are more than likely to consider suicide. Parents, always be aware of what your child does online. And make sure you are aware of how they are doing in school and how they are getting involved with their school and how they are getting along with their peers. The more you get involved with school, the less you will forget about what people are saying about you. And I can relate to that too, because ball kept me focused, travel ball kept me focused, softball kept me focused. The bullies were nothing to me once my softball season began, once my training began. I guess you could say, in ways, the media obliterated me just as much as bullying in general. I got made fun of for not having the prettiest face. I guess this is why I wanted to end my life so bad. I could not even care to understand why those people treated me the way they did. But you know, I also learned by those times I did almost kill myself. There aren't worth taking a razor to your skin and damaging your skin. They aren't worth the scars. Those people aren't worth the pain you feel every single day. They aren't worth that pain you feel when you pop those pills because you don't know what to do anymore. How did you feel about that? You don't have to share it. You don't. Just think about this. What if your mom, dad, brother, sister, or someone found you laying on the bedroom floor, dead? Can you picture that? How would they feel? How could they not know everything that you went through? How could they just leave you hurting and feeling so alone? It is heartbreaking because I knew at that very moment if I committed suicide, someone would have found me. No matter what the situation is. But I did. I am here among all of you sharing this story with you. I have never been so happy, so thrilled, so blessed to be a part of something like this. I do not really know how I could explain it better than myself. If you bully someone online, it will come back to haunt you. Bullying is the biggest issue in today's society. I will never understand why any of these things happened to me the way they did. But I can tell you one thing. You are who you are for a reason, and do not forget who you really are, and do not forget where you come from. You will always be absolutely perfect, no matter where you come from, no matter what you look like, no matter what your imperfections are. God made you who you are. You should take advantage of that. If you have something special about you, express that. Do not hide it. Do not hide that from the people because you are ashamed of who you are or what you look like. Because in the end, those bullies are the ones who make you stronger. They may make you feel weak, worthless, but in the end, you are all stronger than those bullies will ever be. You are all worth something to me. To God, to your friends, to your families, you are all amazing. You are all beautiful and handsome. I have one last thing to say before I go. I just want to say that I love every single one of you. I may not know you personally. I don't really have to. I may not know any of you, but I know you are worth it. I also want to say thank you for giving me this opportunity today. It has been amazing. I am truly blessed to have spoken to you and be with you today. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I'll be taking questions and I will answer them aloud. I am here to help you. I want to help you. And if you do not want to say anything in front of me, you can add me on Facebook or you can come up to me after this presentation. And an even bigger thank you to Miss Kim. I could not thank you enough for this experience. I could not ask a better way to spend my Saturday afternoon. I am truly thankful you have contacted me. I will always remember this. I am truly blessed. Oh, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. I hope you all have a safe trip home. I will be taking pictures and talking to people if you want to come by and say something. Hope you have a wonderful Saturday afternoon.
I just want to tell Shelby thank you for coming out today and telling her story. Now I'm going to cry. For the kids that are here, I hope that opened your eyes. If you don't know that you're being bullied, maybe she gave you some examples. For the parents that are here, she gave you some examples of what to look for.
You got to speak in.
Just like I finally got it out.
Can you hear me now?
If your parents, you heard what she gave you, some examples of what to look for with your kids. If they're quiet, reserved, they don't want to talk, they go to their room and hang out, they have bruises, there's obviously something going on. It's okay to ask your kids what's going on. So I hope her speech helped out today. And we have a little gift for you. We have one of our shirts, but it's going to follow you home. It's going to be a nightgown. And then we have, these are survival bracelets that our wonderful Rose in the back has spent weeks making all these. Now back to the car. Now let's have some fun.
Come on, Aaron.
You made me cry. Oh, thank you. That was wonderful.
You okay?
I'm crying all the time.